In our previous video, we demonstrated the overall functions of our upward integration module for VMware vCenter. Now we're going to take a closer look at one of the more advanced functions, rolling updates. Rolling updates is the ability to perform firmware updates on a cluster of systems without taking any workloads offline. During the rolling update, we take the first system in the cluster, put it into maintenance mode, automatically moving all the workload to other machines in the cluster, apply the update, restart the machine, and then take it out of maintenance mode, which automatically moves some of the workload back. Then we move on to the next system, repeat the process, and we go one by one until the whole cluster is updated. First, let's see where the updates come from. As you can see here, we have the choice of either going out to the Lenovo website to pull down the latest updates, or, as is very often the case, we have our own standards available in a directory locally that we want to do our health check against the standard updates that we've already approved. Now let's set up the actual update. I'm going to create the update here. We're going to call it New Update. And you can see we can select to either update and reboot, update only, or reboot only. In this case, we're going to update and reboot. Next, we're going to decide which updates get applied to each of the individual machines. In this case, we've got an Update Express pack which has been downloaded into our repository, and that's the basis for our comparison. If we select just the overall machine type, we can see that all of the elements of the Update Express pack are being used for comparison. And then when we select each individual machine, we can see which of those updates are going to be applied for each of the individual machines. So we select the one machine here, we can see that 2 matches have been found, and in the right hand column we can see the 2 check marks next to those updates which will be applied. And of course we could change this and have different updates for different machines, but we want to remain consistent and make sure that the same updates are made to each machine in the cluster. Next, we're going to be able to control the parallelization. This controls the number of machines in maintenance mode at the same time. And this, as we increase the number of systems in maintenance mode, this is going to decrease the amount of time it takes to update the whole cluster. And at the bottom, as you can see, we can schedule this to happen at a time when the cluster is less busy, and perhaps I'd be able to have multiple machines offline at the same time and still have enough capacity to handle the workload. The next screen gives a summary of the update, and I can select Finish to get it started. At first, the status tells me that the system is preparing for the first update. And then you can see, as the update starts running, that the virtual machine workload is migrated off the first system, and that system is put into maintenance mode. I can then select on the status to get a more detailed report of the rolling update task. We can see the systems being updated and what update will be installed on each machine. Here we can see that the update is being uploaded, and then the flash process is taking place. A few minutes later, the first update is done, and the process starts updating the next element. A little while later, both updates are finished, and the system reboots. Once the reboot is complete, the first system comes back up running ESX, rejoins the cluster, and exits maintenance mode. Workload returns to the first system, and the process begins migrating all of the virtual machines off the second system. Once the second system is in maintenance mode, the update process begins on this machine. A while later, we can see that both machines have completed successfully, and our rolling update is complete.